Hello everybody, Ed0626 bringing you some Star Wars Battlefront 2 Open Beta gameplay. So, for those who were unaware, last week, or at this part, I guess it was like last week, 2 weeks ago, at this point. Last week was the Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta. I'd like to give my thoughts on what I thought about the beta and so far about the game. I will say this. Overall, I enjoyed it very, very much. I enjoyed playing it. I just wish that at some point they would have added, some sort of other map or something to Galactic Assault or Starfighter Assault or even on Strike. Something different that would just, keep me interested. Because towards the end of the beta, or I'd say even after like the first day or after like the first day and a half. I didn't find myself playing it as much as I would have liked to, because the content, while they say it's gonna have 3 times more content. With that being said, by the way, that was a bullshit death. I gotta say, that was some bullshit. But I just wish they would have added something to keep some people coming back. That's pretty much, one of my only criticisms. Now, for the game itself, I'll just do like a whole breakdown of what I liked, what I hated, that type of shit. By the way, this is Galactic Assault. The whole format of this game is to basically take, it's three stages. Clones have to take out the MTT, and if they don't do that, they fall back, and then the droids are pretty much on the attack at this point. Like, they're really on the attack. So basically the clones are on the defensive this entire game. But, it doesn't really, become clear until after Phase 1. So, I honestly, regarding this game mode, I honestly love it. I honestly think it's going to be the most played game mode in this game. It's definitely like, reminds me a lot of some of the DLC game modes that came with the first Battlefront. Stuff like Battle Station and Infiltration, like in the Rogue One DLC. It has that feel to it. And I do enjoy those types of games a lot, honestly. And this is just great. And it's Clone Wars too. How could you go wrong with the Clone Wars? No one really can. But and the fact that they have Clone Wars in this game is just fucking amazing. So I'm just going to break down what I thought about it. So the plus sides of the game are, of course, Galactic Assault, Clone Wars. Starfighter Assault is actually pretty solid as well. I really enjoyed playing that for what it was. Although I will have one criticism. There is this, mechanic that the left control stick is like, I don't know why they thought this was a good idea, but the left control stick, there's a function with it, and I can't really explain it, but for whatever reason, it's like overly sensitive, and every time I try to like turn my ship a certain way, it like turns it like 360 degrees, and it's really hard to maneuver like that. I don't know why. That's like my only criticism of Starfighter Assault. Other than that, I love the objective-based gameplay of it. It's this is embarrassing. I don't know what the deal this was, but this was embarrassing. Yeah. So what else? The class systems, I personally like them. When I was playing, I found myself using the Assault and Heavy class the most. I tried Officer a little bit. It's not that great. I personally don't enjoy it. Specialist is not my type of game mode. I'm not a fan of sitting back and doing nothing and waiting for the people to come to me. I am more of the I like to find people type of gamer. So you'll see me, basically trying to look for the droids and shit. And I think Kobe. Oh, that wasn't even a Kobe. Yeah, that's one problem I want to mention while I'm on. Now that I noticed that the name pop-ups when you kill somebody. Please, for the love of God, bring it back to how it was in like the alpha stage. I don't like how this is one bit, because every time you see the big name pop up, you're like, oh, I killed him, and then you see the little letters kill assist. I'm like, no. I don't know. I wish there was another way to indicate kill assist, or at least have assist counts as kill, because sometimes I find myself being robbed of kills really, really bad because I'm putting damage into this guy, and then gets some guy just gets puts the last two shots in him, and he gets the kill. I don't agree with that. They really need to implement an assist counts as kill in this game, and why they haven't, I have no idea. But yeah. So back to the class systems. Yeah. So specialist and officer are not my cup of tea. Although officer is more of a supportive role, I don't find myself, particularly enjoying a type of game mode that has that type of role with it. If I'm going to use a pistol, I'm just going to be a jump trooper or something, because I honestly, that's really the only way I could use a pistol. Other than that, I can't use a pistol as my primary. It's not my thing. The first Battlefront was different with that because the DL-44 and some of the other blaster pistols were so overpowered, like the 5-shot SCE or SEC, something like that. Because they were so overpowered, it makes it quite easy for me to use the pistols, especially in games like Blast. That's another thing. I don't know why they didn't have a Blast map in there. It's kind of surprising to me. So yeah. But I guess that pretty much sums it up for my positives. Now I'm going to move on a little bit to my negatives. The biggest glaring negative I had coming out of this beta was the squad system. The squad system in this game needs to be overhauled for the launch, because I do not like the aspect of, one, not having my friends be able to play with me in my games. First of all, that was another glaring issue, the party joining system. The fact that you can't have a squad going into it, like, it was a clusterfuck. It was as bad as the Battlefield 1 squad system. Like, it was an absolute clusterfuck of what was going on. And I'll explain this. Because the only way I could join people, or people can join me, if any of my friends, is if we were in a party. And if you weren't in a party, you basically were screwed practically, because it didn't indicate that any of your friends were playing the game, that type of shit. So it really does. The party system and the squad system needs to be overhauled, because I can't stand the fact, like, why would you want to play solo like that? I don't play, when I play games, I don't like playing solo most of the time. I like playing with friends and shit. So if they can somehow fix the squad system and the party system to the point where you can actually go into a game with your squad and your party, so to speak, that would be great. But until then, I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. But what else? Oh, Strike. Oh, Jesus Christ. Strike is a very solid game mode for what I played of it. I like the idea of Strike, but Strike is one of those types of game modes that probably look better on paper than it does in terms of the actual execution of the game itself. The game mode itself reminds me too much of the last phase of Infiltration, where the rebels have to get the data tapes, and they have to get the data tapes, and they have to run all the way back to the U-Wing. And the reason I hated that game mode was because I hated that part of the game mode, because once you get the data tapes, where the enemy is where you have to run. So I understand that. They have to make it challenging. I understand that one bit. But there's just an unfair advantage that the defending team has. And it's the same way, it's the exact same way in Infiltration. The defending team, the person that's defending where the enemy is going to end the game, pretty much. You have to grab the artifact and then run it back. The people that are defending where you have to go back to, It's just really tough. And Takadana is not a very good map. It's very campy. The castle. I played a game where the castle itself, we just played in the castle. Like the enemy team could not even. The enemy team could not get into the castle. Therefore, they could not get the artifact. I think the castle aspect of where the artifact is shouldn't be like that. Honestly, I don't like that one bit. It's very unfair for the attacking team. You know, oftentimes in Star Wars Battlefront 1, the defending team were the ones that got the shit end of the stick, as I like to say. By the way, Darth Maul is coming up. This is the only time I've ever played as Darth Maul throughout the entire beta, and when I had him, I was so happy, but my fucking effort was terrible. And spoiler alert. Also, the reinforcement system. I love the reinforcement system. I love the battle point system. Some of the stuff that you have to get, some of the vehicles that you have to get for battle points is just too much. Like the tank. The tank should be lowered. The ATRT should be lowered. And I think some of the reinforcements, like the battle droid, could be lowered a little bit. And not the jumping droid. The jumping battle droid, which is what I use more so than the other one, is fine. But I think for certain reinforcements, they should be just lowered down. By the way, for the flame trooper side on the First Order, the flame trooper, garbage. That is not worth 3,000 points. If you're gonna give me a flame trooper, make his flame gun have better range, because his range is absolute garbage. I got killed instantly with him. It was just a waste of my time. By the way, get fucked, Han Solo. So yeah, that's basically it, man. Those are some of the glaring problems I have. I know there's more, but those are the major ones that I had anyway. So the party joining system, the party joining system, strike on Takadana, unbalanced as shit. Some of the battle point, how much battle points you have to earn for some of the reinforcements. Was that it? I think that was it. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Other than that, man, I'm very excited about the game. I really am. I played it. I'm now looking forward to what more they could add to it. So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It may possibly be the best game of the year. One of them, anyway. I won't discredit any other games coming out, but it may well possibly be the best game that we have at the end of the year. And like I said, I'm looking forward to it. How could I not? I'm on the hype train for this game, basically. Some people are still, hating on it for really petty aspects, but they don't really back anything up. Their worries aren't really backed up. It's just, if this isn't in the game, I'm not going to buy it. It's just that type of mindset. And I had this discussion in my, I don't understand the hate for Battlefront 2 video I had a while ago. I don't understand why this game gets hate for certain things that are either unbalanced that were in the original Battlefront 2 or whatever, but I just think that, the hatred that this game is getting for certain aspects is really unwarranted, or unwanted, and unneeded, and not needed, I should say. But I don't know, man. If you played the beta, I want your opinions of it. I know a few of my friends and I played it. One of my friends actually had trouble joining me. He knows who he is too. I don't know what the hell that's another thing. The joining system needs to be, like I said, it needs to be overhauled ASAP. Anyway, we had to take the L this game. I'm not sure if we lost the other game too, but I'm not sure. But anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Like I said before, if you have played the beta, give me your thoughts about it down in the comments section below. My name is Ed0626, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. And I got plenty more of this where that came from. So I hope you guys enjoy it.